Hi, welcome. So here it is. I've done another guide for the Carrion Golem build, and this build will only be applicable after you have farmed a bit of currency. I would say estimated about 50 exots around there. Yeah, but this is just the estimated amount. I mean, who knows? Exot might be dirt cheap this league with all the new ultimatum mechanics. So yeah, let's just get started. This is the Necromancer CI Aura Stacker, and let's talk about the pros first. Is estimated about 6 million DPS per Carrion Golem, so a total of 24 million DPS. It has a minimum of 5000 energy shield, 75% attack and spell dodge chance, a minimum of 80% physical damage reduction, and 83% all resistance. Of course, immune to chaos damage. I mean, no brainer. And 13 auras. So previously we are actually running 14 auras, but due to the flesh and stone constraints, we can only run 13 auras as of now. And yeah, this build is just for lazy people that just wants to walk and pick up items. Okay, so for the cons, you definitely can't run physical reflect maps. I think it's pretty obvious. And you probably can't do 100% delirium maps. So what happened was, the previous league I tried 100% delirium maps and I failed quite horribly because all of my minions died. Think probably they're not tanky enough or whatsoever, not sure, have to test again. And yeah, this build definitely can't do Uber Aziri. Your minions will melt faster than you do delirium maps. Okay, moving on to the auras. Here I will showcase all the 13 auras that we will be running. First up will be Precision. Second will be Dread Banner. And Dread Banner must be Divergent. It definitely must be, because this is required to reach 100% impale. I mean, you can ignore the Divergent, but you'll probably have about 90%-ish around there. Yeah. Next will be Purity of Ice, Fire and Lightning. I think this is pretty standard. Vitality and Clarity. For Clarity, you only want to keep it at level 5 due to mana constraints. And the Clarity purpose is for self mana regen, and actually for the Spectres to use their Frenzies and power charger skills. So next up will be Haste, Grace, and Discipline. After that will be Pride, Aspect of the Avian, and Determination. So there was actually a little debate here between Grace and Flesh and Stone. So basically, Grace can be replaced with Flesh and Stone, and the damage will increase quite significantly. I would say about more than 1 million damage. However, you will lose a lot of survivability, and probably your attack and spell dodge chance will drop about 10%. I have actually tried this, and I just felt that Grace should be the better option here, because always survivability over damage. If you can't survive, then you can't deal damage as well. So yeah, Grace provides both player and minions with 75% attack and spell dodge chance. That includes your golems, zombies and Spectres and Animate Guardian and every other thing. So yeah, this is just really personal preference. If you wish to use Flesh and Stone, you can replace with Grace, and just replace one of the medium cluster jewels, the Sublime Form, to just another node that has a reduced mana with Reservation prefix. Okay, so moving along, I will talk about the mana reservations. I think this portion is one of the most important topics, because I'm pretty sure many people have concerns or issues about reserving mana. Like, that is what this build is about, right? Aura stacking. So yeah, there are actually lots of notables to take note. And first of all will be the skill tree. You need to pick up all these mana reservation nodes. So firstly will be on the left. Let me just show the POB for this. Okay, so firstly will be on the left, this will be Sovereignty, like this portion here. And next will be on the right, which is this portion here with Influence. Next will be over here, the one with Leadership, but you do not take Leadership. You only want to take the Reduced Reservations with Might of the Meek in the socket. So what this does is actually increases the amount of reduced reservations on this node. And the last will be to take over here Charisma and reduce reservations with Intuitive Leap, where you can actually save quite a few points over here. Yep. So that's about it for skill 3. And one more thing, you have to take Align Spirits. So Align Spirits is actually over here, the one just right beside the Leadership. This actually gives you maximum mana, and this actually contributes quite a bit to our mana pool as well. Okay. So for the next one will be Medium Cluster Jewels. This tree is actually very important to sustain the mana reservations. The first one will be Sublime Form for Grace. The second will be Pure Might for Purity of Fire. And I took Pure Might because it provides the plus 20 strength as well. Last will be Uncompromising for Determination. So yeah, as I said previously, if you do not want to run Grace, then remove Sublime Form and just choose another node that or prefix that has reduced mana reservations for your skills. Okay, and for the last portion, we're going to talk about the items for mana reservations. The first one will be Alpha's Howl, that actually provides 8% reduced mana reservations. I don't really know how to pronounce this. Sakawal's Nest. Yeah, you need to have 10% reduced mana reserve for this. This is very important. You need to roll until you get it. Okay, and next will be a Rare Shaper Amulet with 6% reduced mana reservations. I have actually shown here. What you can do is actually the maximum is 5%, but you gotta use Fertile Catalyst to make it to 6%. And also allocate Champion of the Cause. Champion of the Cause basically provides you with, I think, about 4%. Yeah, it's here. Yep, 4% reduced reservations of skills, as well as a 12% increase area effect and 6% increase effect of non-curse auras. So yeah, the last one will be Socket the Conqueror's Efficiency over here, as it provides 2% reduced mana reservations. So yeah, I actually have labeled them in green, so please do take note. There are actually 12 of this. And yeah, just without one of these, you will not be able to run all 13 auras. Okay, I will now talk about the large cluster jewels. These are the things to look for. Basically, minion cluster jewels, and you need to have 8 passive skills. Anything more than that will actually require more levels. Yeah. Okay, the prefix is renewal. This is definitely mandatory. And the next will be Feasting Fins. While the suffix will be Vicious Bites. So yeah, in any circumstances that you do not have the budget or you're unable to find the nodes, I've actually listed down here. This is the DPS loss if unallocated. As you can see, Vicious Bites really reduce a lot of damage. So Feasting Fins is still acceptable if you can't find them. And yeah, any other suffix would be fine, honestly. It's just fit in whatever you need, cause it's not really that important anymore. Okay, so you need a total of 2 large cluster jewels with this prefix and suffix. And moving along will be the medium cluster jewels. So for the medium cluster jewels, you got to look for aura, and this will need, you will need to find something that adds 6 passive skills. Okay, so for the prefix, replenishing presence, this is definitely mandatory. And yeah, like I mentioned previously, these are the 3 prefix that's required: sublime form for grace, pure might for purity of fire, and uncompromising for determination. The last one you want to use first among equal. This actually provides 6% increase in your aura effect. And for the suffix, it is the same thing. Just get anything, it will be fine. Yep. So there's you need a total of 4 medium cluster jewels. And yeah, like I mentioned, this every jewel needs to have replenishing presence, and just any of the 4. Okay. Okay, now to the items. I will first introduce all the unique ones. For the weapon, just use 2 cold iron point. This is quite no-brainer. It actually provides +3 level to all physical spell skill gems. And this actually includes stuffs like your determination and whatsoever. Yeah, it boosts a lot of damage. Really a lot. So without these 2, you can see your damage drop very significantly. I would say probably about 4 million damage or 3 million damage, around there. Okay, the next will be Alpha's Howl. I have mentioned previously, as well as this Sakawal's Nest. Okay, for the boots, look for Dorianis Delusion. And for Dorianis Delusion, you want to look for energy shield type boots. It has to be energy shield type boots. So you can actually have any purity skills for here. So whatever purity skills that you take, just swap it out with whatever that you are missing in the skill tree. Sorry, I mean in your skill gem slot. Okay, next will be for the flask. Get the Rumi's Concoction for the armor, and the Taste of Hate for the reduced damage, because you will take 20% of physical damage from hits taken as cold damage, and our cold resist is actually over the cap, which is very awesome here. Okay, for the jewels, I think this is quite standard. You need to get the Primordial Might, Harmony, Eminence, and Anima Stone. This 4 is like the no-brainer go-to for the gems, for the jewels. And the next will be Intuitive Leap. Like I mentioned, this is for the charisma portion. Might of the Meek to increase the reduced mana reservations as well. And over here we will take the Fortress Covenant. So yeah, this actually increases the damage by quite a lot. And the last will be Conqueror's Efficiency. Okay, so now to the rare items. This is probably the most annoying part of the build. Okay, for the gloves, you want to look for Sorcerer Glove with the energy shield increase, fire resist, because without this we are actually not capping fire resist. So yeah, just a single fire resist on probably any one of your rare items. Actually, it doesn't need to be Sorcerer Glove. And lastly will be to bench craft minion damage. As you can see here, yeah, I crafted here minions deal 20% increased damage. This is quite awesome as well. And the amulet, please get Citrine Amulet. Why Citrine Amulet? Because it provides strength and dex. And yeah, this is I would say actually mandatory to get Citrine Amulet as your base. Okay, and get one that grants level 22 determination with energy shield increase, and like I mentioned, reduce mana reserve with the Fertile Catalyst. So after that you can just benchcraft whatever that you are missing out. So I will say for the amulet, the level 22 determination and the mana reserve is the most important one. So do get your hands on these 2 first before focusing on any other prefix or suffix. Next, for the ring, unset ring, that is actually a Crusader influence. One with strength, so you need this strength actually. Without this strength, you cannot run your skill gems. You're short of, I think, probably about 30 strength. Yeah, I mean, for the rest of your rare items, you can benchcraft strength as well. I mean, as long as it meet the requirements, it's fine. So it doesn't need to have strength. You can just benchcraft in your amulet or your second ring or even this ring or whatsoever. Yep. But try to get energy shield and energy shield increase. Same for your second ring. Get energy shield and energy shield increase. These two rings basically just focus on getting more energy shield for survivability. Otherwise, you will see that your energy shield has only 2000 plus. It's quite sad. Okay, the last two will be get the Ghastly Eye Jewel, one that has energy shield and just any 2 minion damage mods that is not elemental damage. You do not want to get the elemental damage because you will not be able to run elemental reflect damage maps. I mean, it is possible, but there might be some circumstances that the damage actually will backfire you. Yep, here's 2 example you can see over here. Okay, so now over to the Animate Guardian setup. I actually have 2 setup for you. One is the basic ones. So let me just begin. The weapon is actually very mandatory. The Kingmaker is definitely best in slot. It just provides everybody with 45 Cowling Strike, and it provides the increased critical strike multiplier as well. Yep. So for the helmet, use the Leer cast. This is to provide you and nearby allies 15% increased damage. For the armor, just go for glucose pelt in the beginning. I think this is actually quite self-sustainable for your Animate Guardian, as it provides the regenerate 5% of life per second. This is actually quite a lot. And for the gloves, I don't really have a picture here, but just use one rare gloves with the mod. There's a chance to intimidate on hit. So when you intimidate on hit, basically the enemies take 10% more damage. And for the boots, just use Victorious Flight. This is for the 10% increased movement speed for you and your nearby allies. Like, why not? Just move faster, man. Okay, so the next will be the endgame setup for Animate Guardian. This is a more complex version. However, okay, let's just begin. The weapon will be the same, it's Kingmaker. However, for the helmet, you gotta use the Mask of the Stitch Demon. What actually this does, what you're looking for is over here. Regenerate 1% of life per second per 500 maximum energy shield. So how to obtain this 500 maximum energy shield? It will be from your body armor here. So you get a Redeemer influence, rare armor with probably this one, nearby enemies unblinded. This is actually one of the best. And then you bench craft this. It shows gain 9 to 10% of maximum life as extra maximum energy shield. This is actually a lot because let's just say if your Animate Guardian has 60,000 life, so 10% of 60,000 is actually 6,000, and you will get 6,000 maximum energy shield. So with this helmet, can you imagine per 500 maximum energy shield, you're probably going to regenerate like I don't know, maybe 15%. Yeah, it's just a lot. It's just insane. There's no way your Animate Guardian is going to die after you get this setup. Okay, and the last one will be you can, if you have the currency, you can just try and get this as well. You can apply an additional curse. So this is actually optional, but this allows you to use both Assassin's Mark and Vulnerability. I'll explain more later. So there's actually a special alternative method that I realized. You can actually take the node grave intention. So what actually grave intention does, let me just show you over here. Where is it? Okay, it's over here. Yeah. So grave intention, what you want is the third line. Have a look at the third line. It shows minions gain 10% of maximum life as extra energy shield. This is actually the same mod as what I've mentioned earlier here. Yeah, so if you get this, you can either use Cosby's Will, which will give you an additional curse, or you can use Expeditions End. What Expedition Ends does is it chills nearby enemies. So yeah, this is just a special alternative. Okay, for the gloves, you can use either a rare hunter gloves with intimidate on hit, or use Hands of the Templar with curse enemies with vulnerability on hit. How do you get this is either you bite it off straight, or just keep using Val Orb until you get this modifier. Yeah, however, if you're gonna use this, you will need to have the mod that can apply an additional curse, or otherwise just choose to leave out Assassin's Mark. But I just felt that Assassin's Mark is actually too good to remove against boss. Against fighting boss, Assassin's Mark actually provide very high significant damage. Okay, and the last one will be for the boots, Victorious Flight. I think it's the same as previously, just provide 10% more movement speed. Okay, next up will be the Spectres. Do take the Carnage Chieftain from X7 Riverways. They actually provide Frenzy Charges. Host Chieftain as well from X7 Riverways. They provide power charges to allies. I don't actually really have a picture of Host Chieftain, but they actually have the same silhouette as Carnage Chieftain, just that they are different color. I am probably assuming black or grey. I can't really remember, so yeah. And the last one will be Day of Tool. This actually provides Snow Cloak to allies. I think not many people actually know this ability, but Snow Cloak actually provides additional attack and spell dodge chance to allies. What it does is it actually summons a vortex, and any allies that is within this vortex will have this Snow Cloak buff. Yep, and Day of Tool can be gotten from either Tool's Bridge or Tool's Domain. Just any one of this. And last but not least, we have Bandits and Pantheon. For the Bandits, just kill them all. 2 passive skill points is too important. Okay, for the Pantheons, I use Soul of Solaris. So why is this so? Is because usually you wouldn't be dying at maps, because you can just run around, but you might die to boss because you maybe do not know some boss mechanics, or probably some accident happened along the way. So yeah, I will say take Soul of Solaris. Unless you are very familiar with all the boss mechanics, then pick up Soul of Lunaris instead. And the next will be Soul of Grothkul. Just more physical damage reduction. Yeah. So if you want to AFK in maps or boss fights, maps I mean like probably blight maps, yeah, pick the Soul of Tukohama instead. So what Soul of Tukohama do is it actually grants you additional physical damage reduction and regeneration, life regeneration. So yeah, it actually provides more than Soul of Grothkul, but yeah, this is only if you want to AFK maps or boss fights, as it only applies when you are stationary. Of course, not advised. Okay, so this comes to the end of my build guide. I will put in the description the path of building Pastebin link, and I will also put my Discord tag on it, just in case if anybody wants to ask any questions. So as of now, I have not set up my own Discord channel. I will probably do so sometime later on, but not soon, as league is starting. I mean, everybody definitely wants to go with the 3.14 flow. So yeah, the next video will not be very soon also, as most of us will be focusing on the league start, but do look forward to more videos on mapping and currency making. Of course, there are actually other builds that I would like to showcase, so do look out for them as well. And yes, thank you, and do remember to hit the like and subscribe button if you want to see more POE contents. Thank you once again for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.